What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Drenarius, and welcome to today's Hearthstone deck building guide, featuring the Don't Kick My Robot Tempo Rogue deck. So, the main objectives of this deck are to obtain a strong early sense of board control and maintain this board control throughout the game, all while still whittling down your opponent's health. The key choices to this deck are whether or not to use your damage to work towards your board clear, or to go straight for the face if you think it's going to better support your win. So to support these choices, we throw in some low mana removal and combo damage, such as Backstab, Eviscerate, and the SI7 Agent. Then, we get to see some oh-so-sweet Yeti and Argent Commander action with some mid-game damage, further taking advantage of the Argent Commander's safe removals because of his Divine Shield. And something I actually did was sub out one of the other cards in the deck and throw in Leroy Jenkins, just because I absolutely love that combo of Leroy, Cold-Blooded, and then Eviscerate to throw 14 damage straight in their face. But we'll talk about that later on in the post-game deck analysis. So, without further ado, let's hop into a game. Alright, so pretty easy choice here. Get rid of the Shield Master and the Drake. Loot Hoarder Backstab's actually a pretty good start. Deadly Poison, SI7 Agent. Actually, that's a really good hand. Now, let's see what he drops for a 1-drop. Nothing! Alright, perfect. So, let's just coin for the Loot Hoarder. That's probably our best bet, is to drop this down. Since he gave us that free turn, we'll have something on the field and he won't. Yep. Alright. Now, he's probably just going to ping for the armor up. He's hovering over... Yep, see? There we go. No big deal. Still kind of a stalemate. We just hit him in the face with the Loot Hoarder. Pulled up an Eviscerate. That's good. We're already starting to build our damage spells and our combos, etc. Hit him with the dagger. Not too bad. We started some early board control. Let's hope we can manage this through. We do have quite a few removals in our hand right now, so I don't really see this being a problem. God, I hate shield block. Not a big deal, obviously. He still doesn't have anything on the board. I just hate dealing with that extra armor. And he did get card draw from it. And Argent Squire wasn't actually what I was hoping we'd pull, but by all means it's not a bad draw, because we do get that Divine Shield. Now, I think we're just going to go straight for the face with the dagger, Loot Hoarder, then probably just re-dagger up. We could have Deadly Poisoned, but it's much smarter, obviously, to save the Deadly Poison for next turn, instead of wasting it on just one dagger, when we could use it for 2 removals, a removal and some damage, 2 strikes straight to the face for 6 damage. World of possibilities, right? He could actually have another shield block, which would be a pain in the ass, but I mean, we can deal with it. But what's he have for a 4-drop? Frothing Berserker. Alright, that makes a little sense. Oh, and he's going to go for the Whirlwind, so he's going to proc that twice and get rid of our Divine Shield. Which isn't a big deal, because we were going to trade it for some board clear. And we actually got Leroy from the Loot Hoarder proc, which is good. It's good to have that early on, so that way when we get a little more mana, build up our card base more. We already have that combo that we want later on. The Leroy Cold-Blooded Eviscerate. So we're probably just going to trade you off. What's the smartest way we can do this to avoid any mistakes? I think that's it, because we can't backstab because it's already damaged. So we'll trade you off. Doesn't matter that your damage is going up because I'm not going to face you. Eviscerate for the 2, get you out of there. And it's a good thing we daggered up last turn, because we have 2 daggers left. We have our Deadly Poison that we didn't waste. Take that, give you 3 damage straight to the face, get rid of that armor, and move on. Now, what can you drop? It's a 5-drop. It's good that we got the complete board clear here. We set it back to a stalemate. We are ahead, obviously. We have full health and the 3 damage dagger equipped. Chris is raging on Diablo. I have been mad.
What
it
now?
Is only game.
Try this.
Okay, what is this? Arathi Weaponsmith. Great. The two damage weapon, not a big deal. We can easily take care of this. We'll just... What's the best way to do this? We can just backstab it and then take care of the last bit of its health with the SI7 combo. Actually, no, that's probably a bad idea. That's a waste of 2 good clears. I think we'll just take the Senjin Shieldmaster and take the damage to the face. Yeah, I think that's our best option here, just weighing it out, looking at our cards. Yeah, we definitely don't want to waste these cards on that. So we'll throw you out and top it off. And enter. That's fine. I'm fine with it this early. We were at full health. Well, pretty much full health. Taking that 3 damage to the face. I'd much rather do that and set up. God damn it!
Well played.
That was a good card to play. Oh god. Okay, so we can backstab this. It's a good thing I didn't waste this last turn. See? Backstab this and Argent Commander. For the rest of the health, take advantage of that Divine Shield. Sets us up with a 4-2 on the field for next turn, and that is perfect, actually. So, you know, I'm actually glad we lured out the Black Knight beforehand, because lots of people are running Black Knight nowadays, obviously, because it's a great counter to taunts, especially big ones. And I find when you get more into it in the late game, and you're not paying as much attention, like you're just thinking of how you can win, or please don't play this, please don't play this, and say you're depending on a taunt. Shit, what are we gonna get? Okay, sure, I'll take a damage to my face for 2 to yours. Anyways, if we forget about the potential of a Black Knight and we're depending on a taunt late game, may screw us over in the end. Oh good, another SI7. I know exactly what we're gonna do here. We're gonna drop Yeti, and then SI7, take you out with the combo, and then Face Rage with the Argent Commander. That's perfect. That sets us up with 11 damage on the field already for next turn. Would we have lethal? No, definitely not. Don't have lethal next turn. We do have quite a bit of damage though. God! It's really not a huge deal. I just hate dealing with that extra armor, especially when you're calculating your damage already. Okay. And then he just pings for more armor. If he top decks a shield bash, or already has one for next turn, really, that's gonna be not a problem. But I mean, 7 damage is still a pain in the ass. All right, so we might as well just drop the other Yeti out after we take you to town. Get rid of all that armor. So no shield bash for you. And what's our best play here? I do think Yeti Dagger is probably our best bet. You may ask, why didn't I throw out the SI7 to get that extra 2 combo damage? He might throw something out in the next few turns that I really want to clear, and may not want to sacrifice one of these guys for, so that 2 combo damage could come in pretty handy. Now, what are you gonna do?
My blade be thirsty.
Oh, okay. I actually wasn't expecting that. What else? Another Whirlwind? Oh no, Enrage. So he's buffing this up. So he must have some sort of plan. Oh, he might be trying to buff it up and give it a taunt. Oh shit, I think that's exactly what he's doing. Oh, please don't have a taunt. It's not a big deal, but it'll throw me off. Good God. What are you giving this? Oh, that's exactly what he's doing. God, that's gonna take so much to clear. Wait, he doesn't have... Really? Oh, okay, perfect. I think he was just dumping his cards then. So, 4, 8, 11... Oh god, we have more than lethal. It's perfect.
Hey, lights out.
Alright, to the face, and we're gonna end this, but we have to end this in true fashion and let him know that no matter what he was gonna do, we were gonna win. We have to go through with a full combo, 2 to the face. Then we gotta take the dagger. Can't waste that. Of course, we gotta spend our last dagger. And then Leroy to the face, and we'll give you a well played.
Time's up. Let's do
And boom, -7 health. That is game, ladies and gentlemen. That was actually probably the perfect game to showcase this deck. Well, maybe not the perfect, but it was a damn good game to showcase the deck. Now, if you'll just follow me over here to the post-game deck analysis. Alrighty, let's take a look at the details. So, first off, we have our backstabs, which is absolutely crucial, as we know, for that board clear and that card removal, as well as triggering different combos. And speaking of combos, actually, we have our Cold-Blooded, and I actually find myself never really using Cold-Blooded to buff minions for board clear, although you can. Obviously, it's all situational, but I usually hold it back for that extra damage boost for late game combos. Speaking of situational though, we also have our Deadly Poison, which you can use to go straight for the face, help to clear the board. Like I said, completely situational. All up to you. All up to the situation, actually, right? Arch and Squire I find super helpful in this deck. It's great for that early game plays. Divine Shield letting it help clear the board while still staying on for the next turn. And actually, in the end, we'll talk about another little combo we can do if we sub a different card in. Blade Flurry is great. It's AoE damage, I like to call it. It's does your weapons damage to all enemies on the board, and it's great paired with Deadly Poison or even Spiteful Smith. Eviscerate doesn't really need any explanation. We love it. The 2 damage, the 4 damage combo, great for clearing the board or getting that hard damage straight in their face. Next up we have Sap, and we only have one of these in the deck, so normally what I like to do is save it towards later. Let's say turn 8, 9, or 10, or even turn 6. Let's say we're facing a druid with Innervate. They throw it a Ragnaros, I'm throwing that right back in their face. Next up we have our Blood Mage Thalnos. Best part about Thalnos, obviously, in this deck, has 2 of the most important aspects for this deck: spell damage +1, and its Death Rattle of draw a card. Absolutely great for this deck. Can never have too much card draw, which is a lie. Loot Hoarder, same thing. We saw that in action. Gotta love the draw card. And then we have our Harvest Golems. Gotta love these cards, or I guess you don't because it's up to you. Fuck it, whatever. I like them. I like them in this deck because they're a good staple. They set you up nicely to help take out other cards, but they still leave you with that 2/1 Death Rattle for the next turn. That way you still have damage on the field. Obviously, great in lots of decks. Our SI7 Agents, always see those in action with their great deal 2 damage combos. Chillwind Yeti, obviously good mid-range damage. Leroy Jenkins, if you remember at the beginning of this video, I actually told you that I subbed it in for another card. That card was Perdition's Blade. I actually find I like Leroy more in just most of my decks. It's personal preference. I just like his utility more. I like to have that extra damage to the face. I love buffing it with other cards getting that damage down. For example, Cold Blooded on it. It just works perfectly for me. So I just found myself not really needing Perdition's Blade. So next up we go down to our Sen'jin Shield Masters. Always good to have that extra little bit of safety in there with the taunts. Then our Azure Drakes. Just like Thalnos, it has our 2 main aspects for this deck. We have our spell damage +1, and then the Battle Cry draw card. And then after this, you remember me talking about just a second ago, you do remember me talking about it, Spiteful Smith. And I actually never really ran this in a deck before, but after talking to Hexar and playing it, I actually really like it because if you're maintaining your good board control and you have it out on the field and you manage to maybe even hit it with your own Eviscerate or something and proc that effect, that Enrage of +2 attack for your weapon, it's great just to have that for free. Or also if let's say you pair it up with Deadly Poison and then Blade Flurry, my god, that's a 5 damage to all your enemies, everything on the board, and whoever you're facing. Absolutely ridiculous. Nothing, well, not nothing, but most things wouldn't be able to survive that. Then we have Argent Commander. Obviously see this in action all the time. Great utility with its charge and Divine Shield. Black Knight I especially like in this deck, just because it's that good mid to late game damage as well as the utility of getting rid of that taunt. Sprint, I wouldn't say is exactly a 7-drop card. I like to have it in this deck, especially for turns 8 and 9 and 10. Usually 8 only if you're really, really low on cards. But come around turn 10, if you're really running out of cards, you have all these low mana cards, you pop down a Sprint, it's usually going to end in your favor. You're going to get some of these cards that you want. Now, winding down from this, I have a couple cards that you could always sub in. Let's say if you don't have certain legendaries or you want to switch it up a bit. Just personal preference. This is just what we're thinking about. For this, you can sub in. Really, it's your choice. I would probably sub it in for either Shieldmaster or a Yeti. But what I would do is I would sub in a Big Game Hunter if you have one. For example, like if you don't have a certain legendary or any of the legendaries that I'm throwing in this deck right now, it's a good choice to have. And you can really sub it in for anything. I was just saying what I would put in. But keep in mind, if you have a big game hunter in, you can also cold blood for that 2 damage or that 4 damage on the enemy's cards, which allows you sometimes to proc that big game hunter's kill a creature with 7 attack or higher. Next up, this card that I would probably sub in for a Chillwind Yeti, or even an Argent Commander if you need it, but I would probably go for a Yeti, but I would sub in a Blood Knight. And the reason why is because, let's think about turn 5. We throw down our 2 Argent Squires on an ideal world, and then our Blood Knight. That gets rid of their Divine Shields, and we have a 1-1, another 1-1, and then a 9-9 sitting there at the end of our turn by the end of turn 5. And if we're playing our board clear right, maybe they won't be able to take it out. Unless, I mean, like, you have a hunter with Deadly Shot or some instant clear, something like that. But usually it sets you up pretty nicely. Now, you can always sub out one or both of the Argent Commanders, but mind you, I would really only recommend subbing one out for, let's say, Cairn Bloodhoof or a Ragnaros. I've done it with Ragnaros. I actually quite like it, but I really find myself missing the utility of the Argent Commanders. So, that's it for the Don't Kick My Robot Tempo Rogue deck. I'll be throwing up a few demo videos of some extra games so you can see the matchups, and without further ado, peace!
We'll be right back.